When I was asked to do this event, I saw it as an opportunity to say things differently. Anybody can get up here and rant and complain about what's going on, but I wanted to come from a different position. This is an opportunity because we have to understand what is on the table. We have the power. These schools are only funded based on the numbers of kids that are present at the school. There is no after-school program, there's no breakfast club, there's no sports, there's no outings, field trips, there's nothing. No books, because they won't be able to afford to keep the lights on if there's no kids. When we come to these events, and then we go home Monday and send the kids to school, we're not helping the cause. We have to make it clear to these people, it's either you stop teaching our kids this, or we're gonna take matters into our own hands. And if we're not doing that, then I'm sorry to say we are all hypocrites. And as long as we can understand that and accept it, we can start to make some real change. I'm gonna tell you a little story. I said it recently, I'm part of a podcast, and I told this story, got a little emotional, so I probably won't be doing that today. But it's back when I got jumped. I was beaten pretty good, and I remember the life leaving my body. I remember taking hits, and I remember seeing the kick coming, and I knew I could put my hand up, but I no longer had the strength to defend myself. And the reason for that, you take so many blows, you start to get really weak. And so my point is, while I'm being beaten and I see blood on the ground and I see my jewelry and I actually had money there, these are things that I normally care about in my life. But in this moment, I didn't care about that. The only thing I cared about, and the only thing I had the strength to reach out and grab, was a little pendant that my daughter gave me on my keychain. And it reads, "I'll always be your little girl, but you'll always be my hero." When I saw that, I grabbed it, clutched it, while I'm still getting hit. I ended up putting it in my pocket, but I forgot about it. I went home, and I did the worst thing you could do when you take blows to the head. I went to sleep. I could have died. I woke up in a pool of blood. The pillow was completely red. I obviously called 911. I should have did it earlier, but you don't think when you're out of it. I'm in the hospital. I'm getting stitched up. Doctor's telling me how lucky I am because I went to sleep. They leave the room, and I'm sitting there for a while. I go in my pocket. I grab this. I start crying right away because it gave me perspective of what motivates me. It's my kids. And everybody here, that's what motivates us. It's our kids. So what I saw last time when we came here was beautiful. There was about 3,000 to 5,000 people here, and we took a stand. It was the first time we felt unified for a good cause. Today we don't see that. The reason is division. They're suppressing things. They're pitting people against other people. And I want to say one thing. When you put two different insects in the same aquarium or cage or whatever, they're going to attack each other, and then you would go ahead and say the one that killed the other, it's his fault. But really, it's the person that's pulling the strings, the person that put them both there, that's whose fault it is. And in this case, it's not their fault back there, and it's not our fault. It's the government's fault. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. And they're force feeding us this while wars are going on, and those wars are distractions while they're putting these things in our kids' libraries. So I put up a post the other day, and I tagged 100 people with pictures of what's going on in these schools, and nobody saw it. And a few people did see it, but I couldn't see any of their comments. They're keeping us away from each other. They're taking our ability to alert each other or inform each other of what's really happening. So to the people standing here, it's our job to do that. And you know what? Old school, you went door to door. Old school, you talk to people in person. I mean, we if you want better, you got to be better yourself. And so last time what I witnessed here was some of the kids were being nasty towards that movement back there. Mind you, that movement back there, they're all beautiful people too. We're all victims in this. And if you guys could walk forward and join us, that would be great. That would be the best thing for all of us. But what I witnessed was kids snatching pride flags out of their hands and treating them like dirt. And honestly, that's not why we're here. That's not the way we do things here. And if we're here for our kids, like I said, if you want better, you got to be better. Doing things like that gives CTV and CBC something to put on their news and feed to these people out here. We cannot give them weapons. We have to take it away by being better ourselves. It's simple as that. We have the power. They divided us on the black versus white. They divided us on the unvax versus vax. They're dividing us in the sense that when you have a war where two countries are against each other, it's not actually any of those countries' faults, it's the government's.
Right on. Yes.
Always will be. So, if I could end on this. This is an opportunity for us to get this right. We have to come together. We have to network. We have to plan more. We have to talk more. We have to get each other's numbers. We have to have conversations. And when we do that, we're going to get some information. We're going to get great insight, and we're going to start to make some moves. The thing is, it's a little deflating not seeing as many people here as last time. But if you throw a rock in the water, it's a ripple, right? You throw many rocks, there's many ripples, and all those ripples cross each other. Think of us all pulling out our phones and posting to social media to people in other provinces. That's ripples across the nation. We have the power with our voices, but sometimes social media doesn't work. So you have to hit the ground. You have to put in the work. And if you care about kids, that's why you're here. Guess what? Everybody standing here, when things, if they do go south, we're all going to sleep because we at least tried. And just never forget that. Don't be hopeless. Just keep the hope alive. Love y'all. And leave our kids alone.